It's hot outside as we walk into the sandwich shop. My friend and I have just pedaled through this heat, through this thick humidity to get some lunch at our favorite sandwich shop. It's 1995, and as we walk in, it's really cold because the air conditioner is blasting, and we're in shorts and sandals, so it's really, really cold. And he bought last time, so I'm on the hook to buy this time. So as we go through and pay, the cashier tells me that it's $6.23. So I reach in my pocket, I get a $5 bill, I put it on the counter. I reach in my pocket, I'm looking for a $1 bill, or can't find one, so I have to use another $5 bill. And I remember a cool trick that my mom taught me. I have a quarter. So I can give her the quarter so I can get 2 pennies back instead of having to get a whole bunch of change back. So I give her 2 5s and a quarter. And in exchange, she gives me the sandwiches, and then she gives me $4 bills back and 2 pennies. Put my change back in my pocket, we eat our lunch, and we go about and enjoy the rest of our day. Now, 5 years later, I'm on my way to class, and I go into the same restaurant, order the same sandwich, and when I get it ready to pay, the cashier tells me it's $4.25. I don't have any cash with me, but I have my checkbook. So after I write the name of the store and the date, I write 4.25 in the box, and then I write 4 and 25 divided by 100 with a line on the line below it. And then I write 4 and a quarter again up in the register so I can keep track of my balance. Hand over the check, get my food, run off to class. 5 years later, I'm in town visiting family, and I go to the same restaurant, and I order my sandwich. When it comes time to pay, I give my credit card. I get a sheet that I need to sign, and then I give the sheet back. I get the receipt, take my sandwich, and go about my day. 5 years later, same restaurant, same sandwich. I get time to pay, give my credit card. They give me my card back and my sandwich. Out the door I go. No signing, no receipt. Most recently, same restaurant, except I just pull out my phone, tappity tap tap, food comes about 30 minutes later. Back in 1995, I knew exactly how much I was paying. I had to scrounge around for cash and count it out and get more money in return, different money. More recently, I linked my account to this food app months ago. So it doesn't even feel like I'm making a transaction. I have no idea how much I paid. This is not an accident. This something called the pain of paying has been eliminated, and it's led to mindless spending. Find out more right after this. Hey, it's Derek Hagan. I'm a financial therapist specializing in meaning and purpose and mindfulness, here with another Money Health presentation talking about mindful spending. Now, at each of those times going to the same restaurant, I knew how much I was paying when I was paying with cash. I knew exactly how much. And then with checks, I knew as well because I had to write the same number down 3 times. Sometimes in words, sometimes in numbers. It's a little more abstract though because it's the same piece of paper, whether it's $4.25 or if it's $1,000, it's the same piece of paper. But I'm still kind of aware of that amount. Now when I'm paying with a credit card and I have to sign and look at the receipt, I kind of know, but I'm usually just glancing and I have to sign. Otherwise I don't get to spend the money. Now if I use the credit card and I don't have to sign and I don't get a receipt, I really have no idea how much I'm spending. And then forget about it when it comes to linked accounts. If I've already linked the account, my online shopping thing, I go to order something, I have no idea. No idea that I'm making that spending decision. So as the awareness of our spending increases, the amount of money that we spend goes down. Say that backwards. As these awareness of our spending goes away, our spending goes up. If we know how much we're spending, we're not going to spend as much. If we don't know how much we're spending, we're going to spend a lot more. That's why if you go on a cruise ship, you're not going to be able to spend your money. You have to use their fancy, fun-looking card or something like that, where you just tap, 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 everything's free. Until it's not. You spend a lot more when you don't know that you're actually spending. And you know this just as well as anybody. Humans will do less of what's painful. If it hurts, we're not going to do it. We spend more time trying to avoid pain than pursuing pleasure. If if it's about the same, this much pain or this much pleasure, we'll fight harder to avoid the pain than to gain the pleasure. We don't want to do stuff that hurts. So we're not going to do it. But if it doesn't hurt, then fine, we'll do it. Now it's the same with spending. With spending, there's something called the pain of paying, where it's supposed to have a little bit of pain associated with spending money. It's supposed to sting a little bit. So when we sting ourselves, that's pain, we don't do it. When we don't feel the sting, we're going to spend a lot more. This is not an accident. That has become easier and easier and easier to spend our money. And it leads to something called mindless spending, which means of all the things you can be aware of, your circle of awareness, all the stuff that you can be aware of, and then what you can pay attention to would be a smaller circle inside that circle of awareness, but your spending is totally outside that. You have no idea that you're spending. And if you have no idea that you're spending, you're going to spend more. And you might have heard of some popular strategies for reducing spending. Things like just use cash, track every single penny, put your money into envelopes, and once the envelope is gone, you can't use that money anymore. Put your credit card in water and freeze the water so that if you want to make a purchase, you have to let the credit card thaw. Now, these are some interesting strategies, and proponents of them will fight tooth and nail to say they work because of my system that I've developed and yada, yada, yada. All the arguments around that are a waste of energy because we already know why they work. If you peel back below that first level of that triangle, underneath that, it's reintroducing the pain of paying. That's what's happening. If you have to go and use cash, you're going to be aware of how much you're spending, even if you put it in envelopes. And if you track every penny, you're looking at every single transaction that you've made, every single purchase that you've made. And if you have a credit card in ice, you have to wait for the thing to thaw. In all of these cases, you're reintroducing the pain of paying, and that's why it works. Anything you can do to reintroduce the pain of paying, whether wait for a piece of ice to thaw or go digging through some envelopes, anything you can do to grow the space in between the impulse and the purchase is going to make it more intentional. In reintroducing the pain of paying is a great way to spread those boxes apart, to make that a far more intentional decision, because that's the goal, intention. So my favorite way to do this is to connect to your financial purpose. Now, what is financial purpose? It's effectively what money needs to do for you, why money is in your life. And what I mean by that is, unless you're in deep poverty, at which point you're probably not watching this video, but if your basic needs aren't being met and you're focused on survival, if you're outside of that condition, you don't need more money. Not in the strictest sense of the word need. You can survive just fine. You could probably sell everything you have and move to a country with a low cost of living. Maybe even live, like royalty there. But if you're not doing that, why aren't you doing that? Why? That's your financial purpose. That's what money is in your life for. And it can serve as a North Star here. It can serve as sort of a beacon. Your financial purpose becomes the lens through which you view all of your transactions and all of your financial decisions. It becomes like a filter. And all you do is ask yourself, is this in line with my purpose? Yes or no? And feel free to find some kind of loophole, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because by doing that, you've forced yourself to make an intentional decision. That's the goal. This is not about deprivation. This is about intentionality. Make your spending decisions intentionally. You get one life. Might as well live intentionally.